I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. Okay, now, let's try this again. Let's try it again. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice. It doesn't seem like it's for all right now, does it? Ladies and gentlemen, what you're seeing on the news throughout this week, throughout the weekend, throughout the month is injustice. African Americans rioting in the streets, protesting in the streets, and why? Because once again, an African American was killed unjustly by police. The Lion and Lion Speaking Agency stands for raising your voice and making a noise that's so loud that you can't ignore it. And that's what's happening right now, all around the country. People are tired of seeing African Americans being killed unjustly by police, by people who are racist, who just think that they have whatever liberties they can bestowed upon them to just end the life of an African American. How many decades must we go and see this happen? It's been happening in the 60s, in the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, so on and so forth. An African American is unjustly killed, and there's no justice. People walk away scot-free. Just this month alone, there's been 2 stories that have been very big in the news about an African American. African American men, like myself, who've been killed unjustly just for minding their own business, not even doing anything wrong. There's a video of a police officer kneeling on a man's neck, him shouting, "I can't breathe." There's a video of a man going for a jog and being hunted by 2 white men because he looked suspicious. How long is the African American community not going to be able to breathe in this country? How long? We've had these same types of riots, these same types of protests for almost as long as I can remember. Every single decade, there's African Americans in this country who are killed unjustly. And it just continues to happen over and over and over again. And the African American community is upset. The Caucasian community is upset. The Filipino, the Asian community is upset. The entire world is upset. Because it seems like black lives don't matter in this country. And when we say Black Lives Matter, people protest and they counter with all lives matter. Yes, all lives do matter, but black lives, they just seem to be a dime a dozen in this country. Colin Kaepernick kneeled peacefully, protesting the brutality, police brutality against African Americans. He was blackballed from the NFL, cost him his career. And now It's right back at the forefront of the conversation here in America. Racism. It exists here in America. The truth is, African Americans were brought here not to be free. Ever. There was a war fought. Americans killed other Americans just to keep black people as slaves. Can you believe that? We killed our fellow man just to keep African Americans as slaves in this country. We have laws in place just for African Americans to be treated equally in this country. Incentives for African Americans to be hired for jobs that they qualify for in this country. How long are we not going to be able to breathe? This racism in this country is stepping on all of our necks. And we as a community cannot breathe. Now, I'm an African American male. My mother worries about me every single day. Lion Speaking Agency, we speak about mental health here. As an African American male, I always have to make sure that I look my best when I go out so that I'm not seen as a threat. Truth is, I hate dressing like this. I'm a large African American male with a beard. Some people may see me as a threat. I'm no threat to anyone. And what's going on out there in the news, I feel it firsthand when I walk through my neighborhood. I make sure I have my ID on me at all times so people know I live here. When I see police drive by, I make sure I'm not doing anything that even slightly looks suspicious, even though I'm just walking in my neighborhood. Behind me, I have multiple accomplishments. I have a master's degree. I'm a veteran. I'm a Purple Heart veteran. I got shot twice for this country. But all that goes out the window because I have this. I'd like to do a little experiment here because I hate wearing suits and ties. But so many people tell me you'll get so much further ahead in life if you look the part. The racism in this country, it requires African American males to go above and beyond what's required just to be accepted in this country. So I'd like to do a little experiment here. I'm in a suit and tie right now. I'm going to change clothes really quick and come back and finish my speech. There we go. Much better. Much better. Now, look how I'm dressed now. I feel comfortable in these clothes. I can breathe, show off a little bit of style, a little bit of swag. But to some, I'm considered a threat when I dress like this because I have a hat on. My jeans may be a little bit baggy. I have on boots. Now, I fit the stereotype. If I tried to talk to you now, you probably wouldn't listen. What is this guy doing? He looks like one of them. How come he can't be one of the good ones? And we all know what one of the good ones is. Truth is, in this country, the racism isn't going anywhere. Our blackness should not be considered a threat. Just like before when I had on a tie, dress shirt, and dress pants, I wasn't a threat. I'm not a threat when I dress like this. Behind me, you still see my degrees and my accomplishments. I still live in a nice neighborhood, but I can guarantee you I can't walk through my neighborhood like this without getting looks. I'm the same person who I was 5 minutes ago. The same person with 2 degrees, who owns his own home, who owns his own business, who's a veteran, a Purple Heart veteran, got shot twice for the country. But because of the way I look, because of the way I'm dressed, I'm a threat now. My blackness and our blackness is not a threat to anyone out there. Take all of your knees off of our throats, because collectively, we can't breathe.